Hello and welcome to St George's Park, the home of English football. But today we have the FA National Futsal Series on the agenda for you, with live action from the men's Tier 1. Futsal is FIFA's official form of indoor football. It's five-a-side, fast-paced, always entertaining, and usually highly dramatic as well. Expect there to be plenty of skills and saves, as well as goals galore too, so you won't want to take your eyes off any of the action. There are 4 fixtures being played in the men's top flight today. This is the second of those. So it's match day 4, and in this one, it's Hartpury taking on York. Good morning, I'm Isaac Barrington, and alongside me in the commentary box today is the chairman of Derby Futsal Club, Matt Hardy. Matt, we saw a game that we weren't expecting in the first one, with Bloomsbury beating London Helvetia by such a huge margin. What are you expecting from this game?
I think this will be it's a really interesting one, this actually, because you've got a Hartpury team who a little bit more experienced, got a number of good individuals who we know can hurt their opponents, against a very youthful, exuberant York side that did so well to win promotion last year and then win their first game before having a little bit of a hit and miss period in the next few as they find their feet in this top tier. I think this will be a really interesting one. It will be about who starts the brightest, who takes control of the game, and then from that we might have a situation where we could get something of a shock on our hands if York were to be that stronger of the two sides.
Yeah, the teams are in the tunnel, and we await their arrival out onto the court at St George's Park. Hartpury, for them, it's been a difficult start to the campaign, hasn't it, Matt?
It has, yeah, and it's a club massively in transition. Last year, Worcester obviously became Hartpury in the summer, made a number of new signings, and perhaps will feel that at this stage they just like a little bit of that identity that they had at times last year. But big boost for them today is having their captain Sam Kerwin back in the squad. He's a huge influence on what they do, and a really talented player, former Welsh international, one of a number in their squad, to be honest, and he'll be a big part of what they hope they can build on this season.
Let's then take a look at the two team lineups, see how the two teams are set out there. This is Hartpury's team. Dylan Melpaz is the starting goalkeeper, Dale Richards, Sam Kerwin the captain, Rico Zulkarnain and Chris Bright. The substitutes are the substitute goalkeeper Michael Wright, Jack Morgan, Andrew Lanham, Marshall Hale, Ollie Desborough, Jack Tyson and James Sunley. They're coached by Pete Valance. Let's take a look at the York camp then. They're coached by Junior Roberti. Their starting goalkeeper is Tom James. The rest of their lineup is Tom Blackburn, Ramiro Monge, Matthew Barber and Jed Devine. The substitutes are the substitute keeper Alex Johns, Jacob Wilson, George Smith, Patrick Peanut, Jake Ackroyd, Jimmy Torre and Joe Iggledon. It has been a bit of a hit and miss start to the campaign then for York, as we see them there just undergoing their final pre-match preparations, but there's a big 3 points up for grabs again here, Matt.
For both sides, yeah, but for York in particular, they won their first game, they humbled Bolton, really. I think they really caught Bolton off guard and came into that one and were all guns blazing. What they found since is really tough going. They're a youthful squad. When their backs are against the wall at times, they do struggle in games. So that will be what Hartpury's aim will be to do today, is make York play the way Hartpury want to play, not play their way, and that will be their best route into it. They have a player in Jed Devine who's one of the real big young talents in this league, and he'll be a big part, we hope, of whatever England under-19 programme ends up taking to the court in January.
Yeah, well, just 3 points for both of these teams so far this season. That's from 3 games played for both of them. They find themselves in 6th and 7th position, with Hartpury just above their opponents on goal difference.
A lot of experience in that Hartpury squad that you see on camera, especially the starting four. Dale Richards has been a real mainstay of what they've done. Their backman, almost talismanic defender at times. Having Kerwin back, he's the main goal threat, you have to feel, alongside Rico Zulkarnain, who is their top scorer so far this season, a new addition in the summer, and Chris Bright. Those trio of Welsh internationals can add an awful lot of quality.
They are, though, today Hartpury missing Alex Hainelt, who seemed to be an influential player for them over the course of the second half of last season when he signed, and also the games this season as well.
Yeah, I'd argue he's probably the best player in their squad. Really talented individual, someone who really takes the game to opponents, and he'll be a huge miss today.
Early chance here for Zulkarnain, and he scored it! And the celebration to match as well, and well, that's the dream perfect start. And Hartpury, inside the game's first 10 seconds, open the scoring.
Wow, what a start that is for them. It's a fantastic finish, isn't it? He guides it home, celebration to match, but the move from front to back, from kickoff, York haven't even touched the ball, and Hartpury find themselves one in front. It's a fantastic ball across goal from Sam Kerwin, and it's a dream start for Hartpury. Wow.
Well, exactly what they would have been wishing for. Zulkarnain, the scorer, he adds another to his bright start to the season. Here he is in possession again, holding the ball up as the pivot, but they're dispossessed. Bright looking to tow it back to Kerwin. Blackburn trying to feed the ball through, and it's off Zulkarnain and out.
It's a real blow for York, isn't it? So early on in the game to see that situation. Fantastic start for Hartpury, and exactly what they want. Allows them to now go and assert themselves, play the way they want to. We'll quite often see them drop off into this sort of half-court press of a defence. Happy to let York have the ball in their own half. Try and defend those spaces.
Yeah, York were looking to feed a diagonal ball through there, but it was intercepted by Kerwin, and Hartpury have the ball back. There's the scorer, Zulkarnain. Kerwin tries to return it back to Zulkarnain. Devine picks up possession. Monge looking to skip inside and then maybe work the shooting chance.
Really good
Gets away the counter
Richards.
charge here with Richards to feed it across, and that's 2-0. Chris Bright, and just like that, inside the first 2 minutes, Hartpury have scored twice.
It's far too easy from York, isn't it? Dale Richards just able to brush Ramiro Monge's side, drive down the line and find a beautiful ball to the second post, and Chris Bright, he's clinical in these situations, just drives it home. And I believe even at this early stage there'll be a York timeout here as Junior Roberti, experienced Brazilian coach, just tries to galvanise his troops.
Yeah, well, a dreadful start for York, and indeed one of the earliest timeouts you'll see all season probably. Good reason for it though, given the start to the game.
Really poor start from York, not the races at all. And this is something that we find quite a lot. Both of these two teams probably in this situation. We take another look at, this is the first goal, isn't it? It's a really good link-up play. Lovely ball from Richards to Kerwin. That square pass, and Zulkarnain guides it home. And then the second one was all about that man Richards driving run down this left-hand side. But both of these two teams, when your backs are against the wall almost and you're up against it, it's how you cope with those situations. And I think that's the big difference that teams are finding stepping into Tier 1 and playing against the top teams. When you have bad moments, sometimes you can ride through them, whereas the more inexperienced sides struggle with that, and that's where they have these moments where they find themselves conceding goals. We found that ourselves at Derby when we play against teams who are we've actually played York, Manchester and Loughborough in the NFS Cup so far this season, and in moments where we've been up against it, we've conceded goals against these sides, and it's really cost us in moments where we felt we could match teams.
Well, York looking for a response. They need one, having fell 2 goals down so early on. Here's Devine. It's a loose and short pass back, and latching on to the end of it there was the latest Hartpury scorer, Bright, and no questions asked over the award of that free kick.
And again, architects their own downfall. Loose pass, Tom Blackburn then lunging into the challenge. Matt Barber didn't know anything about where that ball was, just ends up having to foul in a way. Very comfortable for Hartpury so far.
On the turn there, Zulkarnain tried to pin the defender with his back to goal and then spin and get the shot in, but it was wayward of the target.
Disappointed with himself there. His quality, it's bread and butter stuff for him. Once he gets into his feet, it's a really good pass into him as well. Goes off, has his breather. Marshall Hale comes in. It really is dreamland for Hartpury now. With 2 early goals, just taking the pressure off them. Here we go, as we say, just happy to play that half court, let York have it in their own half, and wait for errors like that.
Yeah, a poor pass that time to concede possession. Kicking in the attacking half for the side in white. Hartpury, who are leading by 2-0 so early on. Melpas stepping into the attacking half, looking for a long diagonal ball.
And we know Dylan will want to do that, will look to do that, and he's very adept at doing it as well. Real threat in those situations for Hartpury. Something they turn to an awful lot. Really talented goalkeeper.
Blackburn with the captain's armband on for York.
Just not got started yet, have they? That's good from Divine though.
Divine, that's nice, looking to try to feed it back inside to Ramiro Monge it was, who was waiting for the pass, but it didn't reach him.
And he is their main man. He's the guy they're going to turn to now in this situation. Jed Divine is someone who they'll look to get on the ball, look to create something from. He has real quality about him. Very young, enthusiastic about the game. At times lets that boil over, but that'll be something that comes as his experience grows.
Long throw out, nice and good distribution from Melpas.
Very easy though, isn't it? York not alert at all, defensively almost a yard off.
Marshall Hale, joined from Loughborough Students, having departed them in the summer. Melpas picks the pass forward to Hale. Flicked round the corner and that's out for a kick-in. York, I guess, though, Matt, just looking to try to steady the ship somewhat after that early onslaught from Hartpury.
Definitely, I think that's what that timeout will have been all about, is steady the ship, just settle your nerves, don't worry about things too much, and play your way back in. We're looking at 36 minutes of this game still to play, far from over, but they're going to have to play their way into this one and find a foothold. At the minute, it's just not working for them.
Yeah, and Hartpury cutting through their defence there with that latest chance, but well high and wide with the final touch on it.
Bit more composure needed from Chris Bright there, uncharacteristic from him as well in those situations, usually very good.
This is Patrick Pina. Divine, inside onto his favoured left. Blackburn, likewise, spreads the play wide from right to left to Pina. York ball.
It's better, much better from them, a bit more purpose, a bit more pace about the way that they had possession there. There's talented players in this York squad, very young, not just Jed Divine. Pina, Tom Blackburn the captain on the ball here, George Smith in the middle, the number 5.
Just starting to enjoy a little more possession now, York. But Hartpury will be happy with that, given the fact that they're 2 goals up. Pina. Blackburn. Forward ball to Divine, but crowded out, and good defending by Richards. Blackburn forward to Divine.
Oh,
brilliant finish. And that's the quality we spoke about from the young man from the right on his left peg. And what a big goal that could be for York to get them back into the game.
It's very disappointing from a Hartpury point of view, isn't it? Andrew Lanham just switched off for a split second, allows Jed Divine half a yard, and the quality of that left foot. Here we see this pass down the line's exquisite from Tom Blackburn, but that strike is unbelievable to find the only area the goalie could hit. And Jed Divine shows his quality and his importance and gets his team right back in it.
Bar the period of possession that they enjoyed before, it was really out of nothing. That just a simple pass down the line, and then it's all about the individual quality of the touch and finish. Right in off the post, left Malpaz with no chance. Pina, he's dispossessed Hale there, and for a split second it did look like that.
Better, much better from York. Junior Roberti will be much more happy with what he's seeing. A little bit more aggression, a little bit more purpose about the way they're playing out of possession. We know Hartpury like to play very comfortable style. Will have possession, but you can rush them. You can rush them, and if you can turn them back towards their own goal and almost panic them a little bit. They still learn. A lot of these players still learn in the game. There is experience in there, but it's matched with a number of players that are quite new to futsal.
Around the corner here for Wilson. Wilson feeds it through the legs of the first defender, Richards, but comfortably through to Malpaz. Keen to get on with things quickly. Hale slammed out and behind by Peanut.
Taking no prisoners there, was he? Just making sure, happy to concede the kick in, reset. Very experienced player, Patrick Pina. Player who's played for Junior Roberti for a number of years.
Jack Tyson onto court and immediately involved in the action, but he's been bypassed here on the counter charge. Eagledon, was that a foul? That might have been a pullback there that Tyson's got away with. Zulkarnain.
That's fantastic strength as well, isn't it? But I think once they've not given one at one end, they weren't going to give one that end either. I think both teams here are aggrieved.
Yeah, well, it came from Jack Tyson's effort to goal from the corner, which was blocked, and then this was the counter-attack.
Just that slight tug on the arm, perhaps. I don't think there is enough, is there, really? He's got to run with more purpose there. He's got to be a bit stronger. He clean through. He's only a tug. I thought it was a shirt on first glance, but that really is not enough to slow him down. But either way, the second one's not coming after
given
that.
away there from Malpaz, and Pina tried to pounce upon the opportunity.
Got to be careful here, Hartpury, causing themselves problems. Just got to be a bit more sensible. Look firmly in control before York scored, and now a little bit rugged.
Direct to Zulkarnain.
No surprise they brought him straight back into court, because he poses such a presence as that pivot player, doesn't he?
Eagledon. Full pass from him there, though, and he's giving the ball away to Hartpury as they stream forward once more. It's Zulkarnain! Rico Zulkarnain with his second, Hartpury's third, and the 2-goal lead is restored.
And as I said, he poses a presence, he poses a goal threat as well. Cannot give him opportunities like that. And Rico Zulkarnain gets his second of the game. It's very, very simple for him, wasn't it?
We saw on the replay there the chance that York had on the counter-attack to maybe go and make it 2-2, but that's how quickly things change, and now 3-1. But could they score here? Wilson!
Good save, really good save, Dylan Malpaz. It's a great opportunity, lovely turn in the middle from Joe Eagledon. We just take another look at this, really good pass. Mistake from Pina maybe, should cut that out. Once he's decided to step through, but look at this turn. Takes 2 players out of the game, Joe Eagledon. Wilson does everything right, hits the target, forces a save from the goalkeeper. Turned into a good game, this one now.
Yeah, really entertaining watch. 3-1 to Hartpury. Which way will the tide turn next? Malpaz takes it in his stride forward, maybe a little bit of a heavy touch, but got away with it, then offloads the ball, still high up the court, the Hartpury goalkeeper.
Covered ground really quickly there, Dylan Malpaz, to rescue that one. And he is now recovering.
Kerwin with the R-band.
So we've seen Sam Kerwin in that position a few times. We knew what he was looking to do. Likewise, Jack Tyson in that position. Interesting, he's playing with the signing of Rico Zulkarnain this season. Jack Tyson being asked to play a different role when he comes into court, quite often playing at the back of their shape, that fixed position.
That's hit by Richards and took a nick on its way through to take it behind for the corner. Tyson, who was so often the pivotal point of the Hartpury or Worcester attack last season with the pivot role that he played, and then the switch to playing more of the fixed role now.
It's not just, they've also signed Marshall Hale, haven't they, who's almost like that false pivot in the way that he plays. We're playing this 3-1 style and look to drift into sort of wide areas and recover around. A number of different options.
8 minutes played, we've seen 4 goals. 3 of them have gone to Hartpury, and they're looking for another through Kerwin, well blocked away by Wilson. Well pass forward again, Hartpury looking to control the game.
Oh, sloppy one. Matt Barber just couldn't quite get enough on it to keep it in play. Good defending though.
Just presented the opportunity for a split second there for Barber. Malpass here really wide out on the left. Richards edging forward with the ball. Here's Kerwin back to Dale Richards. Handball. Decision there given against York's Matthew Barber. Hale. Falls back to Richards. Then a bit of space for Kerwin.
Good save. Had to make sure, Tom James, didn't he? Once it opens up, Sam Kerwin, as Sam Kerwin does in that position, will take a shot on goal. Tom James had to get something on it and make sure.
Kerwin that time scuffing the follow-up effort.
Rusty touch, we'll call that one. It's great to see him back on court. Actually, he had a few injury problems. A big presence for this.
Inside to Kerwin here, and it's a good stop from the goalkeeper James. Nearly right on cue there for the Hartpury captain Sam Kerwin, but denied by the keeper.
Yeah, clever from Zulkarnain again. Finds his captain. At the minute, James keeping his side in it.
Oh, nice layoff. That's intricate as Pina's then dispossessed by a superb sliding challenge by Hale. Bright carrying the ball forward, offloads it wide left.
Game's settled down a little bit now, hasn't it? So 10 minutes in, you see how closely matched these two teams are. York looking to bring their big hitters back into court. See Jed Devine just coming on.
Oh, there's a loose pass, and this might set the counter-attack away. It's Desborough. Opted to take the strike on from range. It would have had to be something special to find the net from there, but it came across and was set for him. Took it first time.
With an effort. Tom Blackburn now back into court as well. This is the 4 that, 3 of the 4 at least, that York will feel can do most damage to Hartpury.
Yeah, Blackburn there was just trying to play a very similar pass to the one that provided the assist for York's goal to the same player who scored it, Devine. So here he is in possession again.
You won't need any second invitation to try and engage 1v1 Jed Devine. Sloppy from Torre.
Counter-attack now here again, perhaps for Desborough and Hartpury, but good covering defending there by Barber. Bright leaves that kicking to be taken instead by Richards. It was fired straight against Torre and out of play again for take 2. Zulkarnain. loves to play like this and play with his back to goal and turn, and that's a prime example of that. But then the last pass wasn't quite there from Desborough.
Yeah, wants to use his individual quality, doesn't he, Zulkarnain? But interestingly, every single time the game sort of goes flat like that and Hartpury are in possession, they're looking to try and find that pass really early into that pivot position, and almost at times guilty of maybe forcing it a little bit. Got to make sure that the quality of that pass is there.
Zulkarnain felt that he wasn't able to get out of the way of that, but referee Saeed Kadri gives the decision in favour of York, the handball, so free kick.
It's that sort of instinctive one, isn't it, where your brain tells you as a player to try and get something on it to block it.
Blackburn looking to find Torre, didn't. Here's Richards. York back with the ball.
Good challenge. Really good from Richards, really good recovery. Poor decision just made just before that, trying to drive that ball through, just keep possession.
Torre. Runs into a little bit of trouble with Desborough winning the ball away from him, and then Torre, the subsequent foul to give away on the man who robbed him of possession, Desborough.
Yeah. Tried to quickly take himself off court, I think, to avoid any further punishment.
Devine disappointed there, because with the goalkeeper out of net, he sensed the opportunity, if that control was closer to him, in the end just bounced away. Richards, Kerwin, forward pass to Zulkarnain. Devine, that time just held up by Kerwin.
So lucky there, wasn't he? Sort of ricocheted back off his foot as he tried to wriggle free. Good defending from Kerwin though. Strong, resolute.
Long diagonal pass, looking again for Zulkarnain. That time wasn't able to keep it in. Devine opened up momentarily, but good defending again to close that avenue off.
Yeah, Richards did well, didn't he? Because once he decides to step in, has to come and win that ball. Pass was on to the second post, wasn't it?
Now then, maybe an opportunity for York if they can work the shooting chance. Just forced back. Blackburn finds the ball to Devine, and then he sees his shot blocked by the last Hartpury defender again there, Richards.
They're threatening though, aren't they? They got themselves back into this one.
Oh, it's a deflection, and it's hit the post twice. Well, how did that stay out? It first deflected off the Hartpury defender, and then at the back post, it somehow wasn't turned in either. There's the deflection. It's Smith at the far post, isn't it, who just tried to improvise and turn it in after the first ricochet.
Desperately unlucky from them. Good effort.
Oh, and it's a goal as it struck in there. From the corner, Ramiro Monge.
I think if I'm being ultra critical as a coach here, as this ball comes across, Sam Kerwin's got to be really, really brave. He turns his back. He has no idea where that ball is going at that stage, and he completely unsights his goalkeeper. It's a great technique from Monge. He doesn't strike it completely cleanly, but he controls it enough to hit the target. And 3-2, York are right back in this one.
Yeah, Monge, the scorer. Malpaz might feel as though that just snuck past him at the near post, but it was precise with the strike from Monge, and with what, 7 minutes left to go in this first half now. The game's really set up nicely.
And I think he was as well. We saw York very much in the ascendancy for a minute or two before that goal. I think, as you're saying, Malpass might feel he should have saved it, but he was unsighted. I think you ask your defender at the back of that Y sort of corner defensive shape to just be really, really confident, really brave there and go and meet the ball. Just take one for the team, as to put it bluntly. Kerwin turning his back just allowed that ball to creep through.
Well, the set piece working for York, and it's the second goal of the season for Ramiro Monge. A big part of their side. They got them promoted last season, and he's very nearly nipped in to win the ball back again there. A lot of the players who earned the promotion for York still playing in Tier 1, which is good to see them made the step up.
Yeah, and they'll be desperately disappointed that they weren't able to enter this season with Thiago Braga, their pivot, scored an awful lot of goals for them, a real leader for them on court, alongside Tom Blackburn, added some experience to that youthful exuberance that they have throughout this squad. He left for Helvetia. Not really seen him yet this season because of injury, but York, he was a big part of what they did well, and they've had to sort of readjust without the pivot option that they have.
Forward here to Divine, finds himself on the left flank. He's enjoyed a lot of possession from the right, so he can cut inside onto that wonderful left foot.
I think Malpass meant to touch that there. I think he was trying to leave that and let that run out of play, and it sort of hit him and stayed in. Hartpury just having to clear their lines.
Blackburn. Cross court, but Monge is robbed of the ball. Hale with the final touch.
Roberti looking to try and get his team going really, really quickly when that ball rolled dead there.
Pass didn't quite reach Divine, and there's a counter-attack opportunity again here for Hartpury, and it's an excellent piece of defending on the slide to get back there and recover from Smith.
Yeah, really good defending, determined defending, stopping the shot. Nice little breakaway from Hartpury, just reminding us that there's two teams in this game. They are still in front. They do pose threats.
Malpaz with a bit of space to drive into, which he won't say no to the invitation of.
Not quite worked for him on that fly. Goalkeeper so far, has it? Possesses enormous quality though, Dylan Malpass in possession. Really experienced keeper, good understanding of the game tactically.
Plays the ball forward there, Malpaz. It's down the line, and the decision is no free kick as the Hartpury man goes to ground. Lannon's certainly asking the question of referee Syed Kadri.
Interesting one, wasn't it? Because it was inside the area.
Another opportunity, and that's from close range inside the area as well, and there was a follow-through challenge again. Did get the shot in that time. Interesting couple of moments.
Yeah, out of nothing as well, really, and little things that happen in games sometimes that perhaps a little bit of pressure on this referee.
Oh, Kerwin's won it back. Promising position. Kerwin makes no mistake in front of goal. He's back on the court and back scoring goals. The Hartpury captain makes it 4-2.
And it's a mistake, isn't it, from York defensively. Had that under control, could have dribbled that, could have got rid of that. In this situation here, George Smith tries to play forward, just clear your lines sometimes, understand where you are on court. Sam Kerwin wins it back and reminds us exactly why he is their main man, why he scores so many goals.
Divine very close to pulling that back straight away there, Matt.
And this is a really, really good game, isn't it? End-to-end stuff, both teams hitting their danger men, getting them into areas where they can go and punish you.
So 4-2 to Hartpury with that latest goal scored by Cohen, but Devine with an opportunity to bring it back to just a single goal straight away, and there was a runner off the ball there in the form of Blackburn. Monge, good save.
Yeah, really, really good save. Dylan Malpass, quick breakaway. Fortunate maybe that that one sort of bounced off. It was a loose pass, wasn't it?
Overturn on the kick in there. Malpass saved the strike anyhow, but it wouldn't have counted.
Seems to be a little bit of a problem we've seen with these new match balls, doesn't it? Sometimes that they do roll away, so if you're not 100% in control of the ball. I've seen more kick-ins overturned this season than for a long time.
Malpass just about prevented that one from crossing the line. Malpass!
Good save, really, really good save, Tom James. That's Dylan Malpass's best moment on fly goalkeeper. Some room to drive forward as he wants to. Get into a really good area to take the shot. See, it was going in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. Destined for that bottom corner. It wasn't for the touch from the opposite goalkeeper, James. (3-1) on the foul count, incidentally, against York. We saw 2 10-metre penalties in the first game of the day when Bloomsbury beat London Helvetia. Big win. If you're just joining us, Bloomsbury with the 7-0 win in game 1. Four minutes till the break. Wilson. Eagledon fouled.
Clumsy one from Zulkarnain, wasn't it? He almost stepped in, rest of his team didn't come and press, and he was always recovering. Just see why he wanted to try and win the ball, just didn't get there. No complaints. It's unfortunate. Tom Blackburn trying to engineer something.
Yeah, it was unlucky there. The York captain, as it ricocheted back off him and out of play. Malpass. Devine tries to make up the ground across court.
Maybe help himself a little bit more there, Jed Devine, and just almost his position in that sort of pressure that he goes to put on the ball. Go and cut that passing line off and stop that pass coming into Dylan Malpass in the first place, forcing himself to have to cover a lot of ground.
Jack Morgan there, the number 4 for Hartpury, on the end of that parallel ball through, but it was difficult to turn on target. He couldn't. Onto court for the side who are leading by 2 goals at the moment. Here's Peanut. Devine. Runner towards the second post, and it went all the way through everyone, through a whole host and crowd of bodies, and the goalkeeper again forced into action.
When called upon, he's been more than ready and more than up to the test, Dylan Malpass, hasn't he? York again, not afraid to go and ask questions. All the time, looking to get Devine, looking to get Monge into the game, onto the ball. They're their 2 main men, their 2 big threats.
Peanut. Eagledon down the line with the pass. Hudson behind.
A disappointing one. Once they get into that final third, they've worked the ball well into there. Need to have a little bit more quality on just finding that ball across the area. 2 players attacking the top of the D.
Goalkeeper Malpass just going to retrieve the ball and then drops it short for Tyson, and Hartpury play from the back. Forward lofted again to Zulkarnain. York have struggled to cut off that direct ball up to the pivot at the moment. Devine there with a touch, but out quickly to sweep and clear the danger, Malpas.
And it's quite a tough one to manage at times, because one of the things that you do need in that situation is, if you're going to go and press, you've got to go and press hard and press quite aggressively. That does leave space in behind if you don't time it right, or you can give fouls away. But if you don't, you leave a lot of space that ball can come round the corner, and a player of Rico Zulkarnain's ability wants to be 1v1, wants to isolate himself. We've seen he's had a lot of joy so far. Close one. Tom James.
Yeah, nearly spilled from the penalty area there, but no concern in the end, as we're into the final 2 minutes of this first half. Eagledon in possession. Back to Eagledon now for York, but no foul as the ball was won.
Good strong challenge from Chris Bright. Referee just reminding Joe Eagledon it's a man's game. There will be some contact.
Ackroyd, forward to Wilson. Back looking for Ackroyd.
Took one in the face off the sort of deflection back there. Really good save by Malpas.
Yeah,
Lovely little parallel.
Yeah, just under caught Ackroyd and very nearly involved in what could have been a goal back for York. It was a promising attacking moment for them, but in the end, nothing more than that with the save from Malpas. Given away there, it's risky. And a risk in the end that Hartpury let off from.
And that was similar to what we were talking about a short while ago, where Joe Eagledon just stepped up very slightly. It was almost horizontal to the fix.
Right old battle for possession. Desborough goes on. That is a foul. And certainly will be a free kick.
Scruffy one, but definitely a foul. Ollie Desborough does really well, wriggles through a couple of challenges. It's a good opportunity, this.
Yeah, a chance for Hartpury to set something up from this set piece and look to make things even better for them before the buzzer goes to signal half time.
Yeah, we know both Richards and Kerwin possess a strike.
Yeah, it's left for Sam Kerwin. He's taking it short. Hale. It's all very crowded. In the end, the shot was fired goal bound, but comfortable enough stop for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, coming through players was slightly more difficult, but yeah, as you say, comfortable, wasn't it?
Foul by Kerwin and Wilson.
Just got suckered into that one, didn't he? Wilson opening his body up well, taking another look at it. Not a great deal of contact, but it's enough. Wilson knew what he was doing.
Eagledon through the legs of Desborough, but then runs into trouble in the form of Richards, who's as strong as ever at the back for Hartpury.
Game Dale Richards yet in that position.
Hale there just jumping and trying to press the goalkeeper, but it's allowed for York to break through. Eagledon.
Save, really good save. So Hartpury's defence there denied the two passes for Joe Eagledon. Almost had to take the shot, hit the target and hope for the best. That's what he does. If you look here, both wingers very deep, denied both passes. No pressure on the ball though, was there? Almost inviting that shot at goal.
Seven seconds for York to work something here. It's taken short to Pina. They'll get another opportunity.
I want something better than that though. This one really in the balance.
Lofted for the volley, but they'll have to be quick, and that's going to be time up for half-time. And the buzzer sounds to bring to an end the period of 20 minutes, the first half at St George's Park in the second game of the day. And Hartpury have themselves a 2-goal lead at half-time. It's Hartpury 4, York 2. Let's now then take a look at all the goals from that first half.
was explosive start, wasn't it? From kickoff, York not even touched the ball, and this one was nestled in the back of Tom James's goal. Fantastic reverse pass almost from Sam Kerwin. Knew where his pivot, Rico Zulkarnain, was.
Yeah, 12 seconds I think it was exactly when that first goal went in, and the second that we'll see in a moment didn't take too long to come after that either.
Really great start for Hartpury. And this one here was all about Dale Richards driving forward, finding that pass. And Chris Bright made no mistake.
Yeah, that was 2-0.
And at this stage here, York looked well beat. Timeout was called. Needed to sort of galvanise. Needed to just find their heads again almost, and find a footing in the game. And it came very shortly after, didn't it? Fantastic, simple, but well worked set piece, and an unbelievable strike from a really talented young player in Jed Devine. Only area the goalie could hit, and he does so. Great execution.
So precise with the finish into the far corner. Smashed the ball in with power and venom behind it as well.
Just like that, Hartpury straight back in it. Poor decision from Patrick Pina to step on, and then didn't win the ball. Goes straight through him almost. And you don't want to leave that man wide open at the second post.
Yeah, no chance for the goalkeeper. It was past him in a flash. And that was Zulkarnain's second.
This is the one, isn't it, where you just felt, okay, York are making a game of this. As we said at the time, Sam Kerwin turned his back, allowed Ramiro Monge to get that shot away. But even it's great technique just to guide it back towards goal. Couldn't strike it as cleanly as he maybe wanted. Even so, finds the corner. And then this here, poor decision from young George Smith. Sam Kerwin, the third of those Welsh internationals, all three of them on the score sheet for Hartpury. He reminds everybody just what a big threat he is in front of goal.
Yeah, won the ball back there in such a dangerous area from Smith and took full advantage, didn't he, Sam Kerwin? So that was 4-2, and that's how we stand at half-time. Don't go anywhere. We've got the second half coming up shortly. Welcome back then to St George's Park for the second half of the second game of the day in the men's Tier 1 of the FA National Futsal Series. And it was a good first half, Matt, for Hartpury, who find themselves 4-2 up at the break.
Yeah, really good start to the half. Hit York before York had even got going, really, and it gave them a really good opening and really good opportunity to continue to build on that, didn't it? York came into the game. They're certainly not going to go away without a fight, and they're going to make a game of it. But Hartpury in the ascendancy will hope that they have enough experience and enough quality in that group to go and finish this job now when they find themselves 4 goals to 2 up at half time.
Yeah, and I think in that first half as well, we saw the quality of the Hartpury pivot, Rico Zulkarnain, and we mentioned him in the first half, and what a big asset he is to them.
He's a massive asset, yeah, and he's been a really good signing, hasn't he? I think they've had to learn how to play with him, play to his strengths. He scored goals in every single game, in all fairness to him. But they're finding just how much ability he has and how much damage he can do to other teams.
So we're underway then at the start of the second half. York with work to do if they are to take home anything from this.
They need to start better, don't they, first of all? They need to start stronger, they need to be quicker and more alert. They're going to assert themselves on the game. Interesting, they've started with a different 4. It was a much more dynamic 4 that started the first half. The likes of Ackroyd, Eggleton, Wilson are on. Perhaps slightly stronger defenders, they might feel.
Yeah, maybe looking to contain Hartpury at the start of this second period and then see if they can kick on from that base. Here's Mel Paz, it's intercepted, but only as the defender Jacob Wilson fell down to the ground of the court, and here's Mel Paz again.
And it's also a game of bluffs, isn't it? Because from York's point of view, they've got this 4 in, a more defensive 4 perhaps against this first 4 from Hartpury, and they'll perhaps look at the fact that they can get Jet Devine, Ramiro Monge, Tom Blackburn onto court against the second Hartpury 4, where they feel they could have more joy. For Hartpury, it's about how they adjust to that as well. At the minute, they don't need to worry, do they? They're going to keep doing what they want in this game and try and build on this lead. Keep getting that man there on the ball.
Yeah, fighting a touch there off Zulkarnain though, and out of play on the far side for the kick-in. Hartpury dropping back to their rigid half-court defence. That's an unforced error from Peanut.
Yeah, a couple of times he's done that. Really poor pass from him.
Bright. Intercepted.
It's good from Wilson. Stood his ground well, read the pass.
Direct and forward to Zulkarnain, who tried to take that on the volley as he spun to face the goal.
It's quite a good example of something we spoke about first half, where not putting pressure on that pass early enough allows that pass to come in, and you can't afford to do that with Zulkarnain on court. Good opportunity.
Monge lays that off, and it's another good save by the goalkeeper Malpaz, and headed away in the end by Richards, who's happy to just concede the corner.
It's a good opportunity that, isn't it? They wriggled free, and just for a moment it opened up to rely on their goalkeeper again.
Monge again looking for the strike from the volley on the corner that we saw him score from in the first half. Again, Malpaz called into action. That time it was a ball across the face of goal that he got down quickly to turn away. Wilson. Pino, Wilson on an overlapping run. Ackroyd. Loses out there though, and the ball's back with Hartpury.
Good turn from Sam Kerwin, just ran out of room on court. Just for a split second, thought he'd wriggled away from that. High pressure from York.
Monch. Good diagonal to bypass the first line of the Hartpury defence, and then the final touch coming off the York player, so it's out and Hartpury will have the kick in. The message for Hartpury at half-time, I would imagine that would have been more of the same and continue to play in the same vein.
Definitely, they'll be happy with what they've done so far in this game. They're in front. They've every time York have scored, they've answered them. They've continued to create chances, and they know they've got players who can threaten. Perhaps need to just tighten up slightly defensively, stop allowing opportunities for other players. But yeah, they'll be really pleased with what they've got. It's York who's got to take the game to them, isn't it? Soft one, that.
Yeah, a bit of a soft free kick given, but it'll be the set piece for York nonetheless. First foul of this second half. Devine. Into Devine again, looking to exchange the wall pass. That's nice, and then Toro was lurking in front of Malpas, but the goalkeeper with the touch again.
They're the two, aren't they? They're the two that really make this York team tick. Monge and Devine linking up yet again.
Nice to escape the initial pressure. Malpas again used. Forward pass, back it comes to Malpas, tried to set it back, but to nobody in particular, only Torre, and then back there again. Of course he is, Dale Richards.
Doesn't seem to move from that spot sometimes, does he, Dale Richards? But he'll pop up here, there and everywhere on the court. A really firm, solid fix who just covers that ground and allows his goalkeeper to go and influence the game. Safe in the knowledge that he'll cover anything easy.
Blackburn, ball just ran away from him.
Torre is one of those players that no one seems to know what he's going to do on the ball. Obviously has talent, obviously has a lot of ability, but must be frustrating to play with at times. Just like there, Tom Blackburn wants to drive forward with the ball and he goes to take it off him and he ends up coming to nothing. You can almost see the frustration in his teammates' faces.
Yeah, and they will be frustrated, York, with the situation they find themselves in. 2 goals down, but very much not out of this one yet. Still plenty of time.
I think as well there, just going back to Torre, Jimmy Torre there, York could be asking him to be a little bit more stronger in that challenge and just secure that ball.
Oh, good turn there by Hale, and it's gathered well by the goalkeeper Alex Johns, who was on at half-time.
Big frame, Torre, and use your body well. Don't allow Richards to come through and forced error. And they're very flat again, York, here at the start of this half. Not as fluid as they were at their best in the first half.
Malpas. Wide of the target.
Running a little bit of a risk, perhaps, of allowing Hartpury too much respect, too much of a chance to build on this 4-2 advantage. Just like Tyson on in that pivot position. First time we've seen him there all game, really. So Carney earned himself an extended rest.
Yeah, good challenge there by Tyson.
As well, draws the free kick as well.
Yeah, just caught late by Devine after he played the pass back to Richards.
That's the other side of Jed Devine's game. Perhaps he needs to just improve on lets his frustrations boil over slightly. Can be prone to give away free kicks. Referee just reminding Joe Wiggledon, I think it is, Needs to step into court. Good opportunity. Strike as well.
Yeah, corner then here for York. The tally of saves is quickly totting up, isn't it, for Dylan Melpaz, though?
It is. Barber comes across to take it, get the left footer into an area. Good effort.
Towards the back post, which is the area that York were looking to try to exploit there.
It's a well-worked set piece, that is, isn't it? They're very organised, put an awful lot of effort into this. I know personally the Junior Roberti, experienced coach, he'll have an awful lot of these in his arsenal. So another good save from Malpass.
Yeah, the set piece routine from the corner, back from Divine as we see on the replay. Yeah, another good stop. Divine this time with the lofted corner, and Blackburn round as Monge saw the ball go past him that time.
Yeah, probably just too much room for Tom Blackburn to make up, really.
Divine offloads nicely, Monge promising, good challenge.
Really good challenge from Dale Richards.
Yeah, Richards to have come back off Ramiro Monge as well, so Hartpury not only stopping that attack but winning the ball back in doing so. Tyson. Monge with an important touch, sends it back to the captain Blackburn. That's not a good touch though. This is an opportunity for Hartpury and it's a big block.
Made his way into trouble, didn't he, Blackburn? Guilty of overplaying, and again
Tyson on the half volley, but not the direction.
Sometimes, as much as you want to play, there's times where you've just got to clear your lines, but move that ball quicker, play with less touches.
Barber. Divine lays that one off nicely to Monge, but then the follow-up pass from Ramiro Monge doesn't find a teammate. Something that we have seen from York in their games this season is the use of the fly goalkeeper. They've used that on plenty of occasion, but haven't really hinted at it today. Malpaz.
I think they're creating chances without it, which will be the reason. No need to force it. Can work the opposite way. They will use it when they need to. They're very adept with it. But at this stage, they're creating an awful lot just in open play. It's a very open game, isn't it? Two really even sides we touched on in the first half. Two sides having a go, wanting to win it. I think that's the most pleasing thing.
Maybe an opportunity there, but it was just too far ahead of Smith for him to get any meaningful contact and control of. Just ran away from him.
Yeah, just couldn't bring it under his spell, could he?
Still as we were at half-time then in terms of the scoreline. 4-2 to Hartpury. Comfortable stop. Smith.
It's a constant threat though, isn't he, Zulkarnain? Every time he's on court, causing problems. Strength from Smith, under pressure from Richards.
Well, moving the ball around, trying to work the chance, but then the pass is intercepted, and this is a 3v2 if they can work it right here. Hartpury. Richards just drags it wide.
Best chance of the half, that. Richards stood his ground well in the middle. Went and joined into the attack. 3v2. He finds that sort of second post region that you, as a coach, you tell players that you want them to hit. Desperately unlucky to see it slide the wrong side of the post.
Stays at 4-2. Barber trying to work a 1v1 as an avenue of potential attack for York down the left flank, but not coming to anything for him.
An easy one for Ollie Desborough to deal with, wasn't it, in the end? Keep your body between man and ball. very different second half, hasn't it? Much more cagey, not as open. Probably suits Hartpury with that lead.
Hale just tried to protect the ball from the defender, but in doing so ran out of room and it crossed the near side touchline.
And rightly, Isaac, at some stage they're going to have to, as you pointed out, look to utilise fly goalkeeper. And look to think about 5v4 as an option to get themselves back in.
Goalkeeper with 4 seconds inside his own half, can't have the ball back now, of course. They've given it away though, York. So Carnane.
Very scruffy, probably sums up this half, that. So Carnane trying to just engineer something.
Malpaz has chipped the ball through there, but only to the opposition goalkeeper, and then not the accuracy that the York keeper was looking for.
It's wasteful, isn't it, in the end? Poor from Dylan, he knows that as well. Needs to be more quality. And that from him is a kick in. So to say, definitely went out for a kick in. But yeah, very wasteful from Alex Johns.
Now then, is this an opportunity for York? He bodies up in support of Blackburn. In the end, he didn't have them arriving, so had to go alone. Made a good shooting chance from it, but just wide of the near post.
Yeah, just couldn't hit the target. With that, could he? Didn't have anything else on really. Just had to attempt that one. I think he will be the person they turn to. Interestingly, I see a member of the coaching staff does have goalkeeping jersey only lying on his knee. It's something they definitely look to at some stage.
So Carney there asking the question whether that should have been a corner, but we restart with the goal clearance. Malpaz now has it down the other end. Richards, that's a difficult pass to deal with, almost maybe caught in two minds as to whether to go back to the goalkeeper, which of course he couldn't do, having already had possession, Malpaz. So Carney trying to wriggle free. Couldn't though. York with it back, and then the cross almost is dug out from a wide position, but it's easily gathered by the keeper. And some control about the game restored for Hartpury.
They'll be happy with this when they game being played at their tempo, quite slow, quite methodical about the way they want to approach it. They'll drop off when they've not got the ball, make life difficult for York, try to preserve this 4-2 lead. Just be very precise about everything that they do. We know that the threat they possess with this man.
So Carnane through to Hale. Good defending. Will be a corner.
As I was saying it, the threat they possess with him and moments of just individual quality like that. That could be enough just to seal it for them. They only need one, don't they?
Yeah, you get the sense that the next goal in this one's crucial.
Great strength again from him.
So Carnane! Against the post.
There's no right to retain possession there, does he? Really good strength. York haven't really coped with him at all. Trying to foul, I think, Patrick Pina more than anything. Not dealing with it very well.
Yeah, so Carnane there coming oh so close to making it 5-2. Pina feeds the ball back to the right. Barber.
That man definitely be the happier of the two coaches, won't he, at this stage? Take a look. Rico Zulkarnain been real heart of everything his side have done well attacking wise so far.
Forward pass, nice lofted parallel. Richards. Important interception, well placed there was Pina. The whistle's gone.
Just taking a look at this. Yeah, just Marshall Hale just coming through him, trying to get back and defend that ball.
Devine. Wilson.
York need to just get more ball speed on in this game, don't they? And just sort of quicken the tempo a little bit. As we say, the methodical nature that it's become suits Hartpury. It's their style, isn't it? York want to play with a little bit more pizzazz, let's say, about things and quicken that tempo up. A lot more similar to what we saw in the first game of the day, where it's quite high intensity. That's the way they like to play. This will suit Hartpury.
Yeah, and it might now not be long until we do see the fly goalkeeper for York. There is one of the players on the bench with the fly goalkeeper top on now. We've seen in weeks gone by they tend to replace the regular goalkeeper with an outfield player in that role. Still in the regular 4v4 at the moment though.
Getting too slow, Patrick Pina there.
Devine. Could he be the one to spark this all-important next goal? Maybe. Devine goes on. Pina almost blocked it on the line himself there as he tried to turn it in. Brilliant from Malpaz, and then Eagledon spurns a big opportunity.
There's a couple of brilliant moments of quality there. First from Jed Devine to find his way through. That from Dylan Malpas is exceptional.
They just tried to turn it in from close range, and Pina, it would have been going wide anyway initially from Devine as the pass wasn't goal bound. Here's the opportunity down the other end, and there's the goal. And it's Chris Bright again for Hartpury. It's a brace for him, and it's 5-2.
And it's very, very simple, isn't it? Ball into the pivot. York haven't dealt with either of the big pivots all day long. Jack Tyson, 3 men round him. That leaves gaps. And once he lays it back for Dale Richards, it's a fantastically weighted ball through. And as we said in the first half, Chris Bright completely free. He won't miss them. A really good finish.
Yeah, that run round the back door to find himself some space, and then composure personified in front of goal there, Chris Bright.
York defensively, just poor moments have undone themselves.
Yeah, could that be the killer goal? Get the sense it might be.
Got stuck here with Tom Blackburn in goal as well there. They weren't able to make that change.
Which then, relative to the situation, is probably a bit wasteful from
Yeah.
Hartpury's perspective, that they didn't manage to get a shot away at goal. And that's loose. It's another unforced error.
I think unfortunately that sums up his game today. He really big player for this York team, and he's just not been at the races, Patrick Pina.
Devine. Looked for foul, not given.
Did.
Oh, won it back in a good area there, Eagledon. Devine trying to bundle it in, and again Malpaz is sprawling around on the floor. Having to improvise in goal, not orthodox, but as it's blocked in front of him, he's there to put bodies on the line with the defenders again.
It's an almighty scramble, wasn't it? I'm sure you want Jed Devine taking your corner on your left-hand side. You want him in the court somewhere, wouldn't you? Very, very wasteful. Poor decisions. Really poor decisions from York. Now, strange one, this, because Hartpury 5-2, 7 minutes to go. I've seen it a couple of times from coaches across the weekend, calling timeouts at key moments that, for me here, you're giving your opposition almost a free hit and a time to get yourself set, get that fly goalkeeper routine working properly. Okay, perhaps Pete Valance felt that he needed something to talk to, but I feel like they're in control.
Yeah, 3 goals up, 5-2 on the scoreline. 7 minutes and change left to play. Nothing too major to worry about in terms of the foul count either, just 2-1 against Hartpury in that regard, and yeah, I get the sense that there's a control about it for Hartpury for sure.
Look really, really comfortable so far. Done everything right in terms of the way they've approached the game. They've taken their chances, they've scored goals, keep working to their strengths. Dale Richards has been exceptional. Rico Zulkarnain, Chris Bright, really good in front of goal, and when called upon, Jack Tyson's done a job as a big pivot as well, hasn't he? It's caused problems for this York team.
Hartpury at the moment they're looking to make it 2 wins from 2 and back up the win over Wessex. Albeit sandwiched between those two games, they did fall to defeat against Tier 2's London Genesis in the NFS Super Cup, so albeit a different competition, they're trying to respond from that as well, and it's been so far so good for them. Back to the action as we resume from that minute's time out.
I don't know how much you can read into results in the NFS Super Cup as well, because a lot of teams utilising that competition as an opportunity to get players minutes on court, a lot less pressure. Really great having more games, but yeah, really good chance to just rotate your squad and give people game time and find out more about players who perhaps on the fringes could defend him.
Pina there visibly aggrieved. He felt that should have been a corner, long ball down court, and the goalkeeper for York had to be alert. He was. And here I think we'll see York look to try to use fly goalkeeper at the next available point. Divine didn't offload. Maybe they just held on to it for a little long if you're being critical. Down the other end, it's into the side netting.
Sam Kerwin trying to add a second, determined not to be outdone by Rico and Chris Bright. Here we go, looking for that fly goalkeeper. Routine straight away. Just under 6 minutes left. I feel they have enough in the tank to go and get something from this, but they need to be much sharper, move that ball with much more purpose.
Pina's forward pass, that was making ground on the resolute Hartpury defence to Ackroyd, but it's out of play now. Blackburn, he's the man with the goalkeeper's top on. Oh, nice, across to the second post. Oh, that would have been a superb goal. Just missing the final touch. Brilliant one-touch build-up play, but then how wasn't it turned in?
That was the chance, wasn't it? Really good opportunity. Jack Ackroyd has to score.
There immediately with his head in his hands because he knows what a big golden chance that was. 5-3 there, and then you start to plant the seeds of doubt in the minds of the Hartpury players, and really got a game on, but still with the 3-goal cushion. York still pushing, they will do right to the very end. Pina to Blackburn, forward to Ackroyd and looking for Iggulden. The net's empty, which Malpaz goes for. Yeah, that'll be out for a kick in.
Have a look at this one. Iggulden just sort of drifts into that middle position. You see, he just didn't make a clean contact, did he? Almost on his heels, and the ball reached him rather than him reaching the ball.
A bit of confusion there. I think the whistle had gone from Saeed Kadri on the near side official, so...
Yeah, they've given obstruction against the player, denying Dylan Malpass the opportunity to play out, haven't they?
Yeah, for a moment I thought we would restart from the kick-in with the ball having hit the roof, but that became irrelevant after the award of the free kick.
Again, Iggulden having some joy in that middle of the court. Just can't direct that pass, needs to be more quality than that. He's going to come and have a breather.
Regular goalkeeper back on for the time being, at least for York.
You have to feel that they need to score within the next couple of phases of play if they're going to get anything out of this fly goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, an interesting move here from Hartpury to bring Malpass forward and almost counteract the fly goalkeeper that we've seen from York to here run down the clock. They don't need to probe and go forward if they don't want to, York, although the chance might open up for them to do that.
Players on the bench, you see Captain Tom Blackburn warning his team to go and press. Need that ball back, don't they? Very, very easy for Hartpury just to toy with them almost there. Malpass and Richards must have had 20-30 passes between them.
Yeah, certainly a long period of possession, but the Net's empty, and the long-range strike is again covered superbly well by Richards, because that one, if he wasn't there, would have ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, on target. There's not enough on it, not enough belief from Alex Johns that he could strike for goal, and it was just sort of a hopeful one, wasn't it? Gave Richards that chance to get back in. Let's give him full credit every time he's called on. Still feel, even with the fly keeper, Monge and Devine are the best hope of York getting anything back in this one. Hartpury just trying to run the clock down with their one, I think.
Yeah, the corner was taken long back. It's there for the chance. The appeals to the referees went unanswered, and it's out and behind from the effort from Kerwin.
At the minute, just making a mess of things themselves, aren't they? York had a chance there. Matt Barber to just bring that ball away. Didn't.
Again, happy to just control possession and wisely see this game through.
Managing the game out, aren't they? Suddenly, within the last 3 minutes now, time running out for the York Vikings.
Yeah, still toying with the York defence. There might be another opportunity to add to the scoreline for Hartpury if it opens up, but they don't need to go in search of that, as we said. Here's Wilson. Beg your pardon, Jack Morgan, the number 4 for Hartpury, as he offloads to Lanham, who's then robbed of possession. Devine looking for Torre, and back there defending well was Morgan.
And here comes York's timeout. Just under 2.5 minutes left. Really important one for them now. As we say, they're going to have to get fly goalkeeper in. They're going to have to score very, very quickly if they're going to get anything through this. From this, it's one of these games now. I feel for them. It's all or nothing. What can they work? What can they find in these final 2.5 minutes? Not been at their best second half. We've seen good moments in the first. It's been Hartpury's. It is Hartpury's to lose, isn't it? The way that they've approached the game.
Yeah, well, highly improbable now that Hartpury don't go on to confirm the 3 points. Would be a grandstand comeback if York can find it. Never impossible, but looks unlikely given the little time that we have left on the clock and the way in which Hartpury are controlling the game and trying to run that clock down.
They've managed the game really well, haven't they? Used their experience, got their key players on the ball, kept possession. Just continue to work it left to right, around that clock, as I like to say. And with it, time has ticked away. He's been exceptional. Dale Richards. He's an awful lot of minutes, doesn't he, at the back of that Hartpury defensive diamond. And while other players will get the plaudits, he's had a superb game.
Barber takes that one on from range, but couldn't keep it down, and the ball's back with Hartpury again. Long throw out, and it's taken down by Zulkarnain, trying to score past the irregular goalkeeper in Blackburn, who, of course, usually the outfield player, but he's still in net there, taking on that role.
That's probably York just feeling that it is all or nothing, isn't it? 2 minutes to go. If they don't score, they don't use it properly, they've lost the game anyway now, so why not leave Tom Blackburn in? It was a brave one though, wasn't it? Defensively, York gone really, really high, and more quality than that. And as much as Ramiro Monge is waving his arms, clearly he's just put that ball out of play. Needs to be much more quality, as there does there as well. York look beat, body language, everything, they look beat here. This will be a real blow to them, because on paper it's a big game.
Yeah, and fatigue now as well. You're mentally with the game in its latter stages. Long range though, there's the goal with Hartpury perhaps leaving the net unguarded in a way that they shouldn't have done. 5-3.
And it's Manju, isn't it? A little bit of quality. Good strike. Clean strike. You see, just guilty of trying to overplay. Toure steps in quickly. And Manju just finds that empty goal.
Yeah, well, it's an error from Rico Zulkarnain, wasn't it, who was holding the ball off, and then the pass didn't find a teammate. Gifted a chance from range, and York tuck it.
And now 90 seconds left, they have possession back. Tell you what, another goal here makes this last minute very, very interesting, doesn't it? What can they work?
Now then, can they work themselves a shooting chance? They do, and they've scored again. And there's still 80 seconds on the clock, and all of a sudden, York are very much in with a chance.
And from nothing, literally 10 seconds ago, York looked beat. And just like that, this is how quickly a game of futsal can turn. Quality from Tom Blackburn. Matt Barber finds Toure at the second post. And it's a fantastic finish.
And all of a sudden, it's very messy out there. That's a lunging challenge.
Dale Richards. Needs to be really, really careful. Challenges like that.
Yeah, well, there's still over a minute to play. And York, very much with their tails up. Hartpury will be begging that they can see this out, and very much with one eye on the scoreline. They need to concentrate on the game, though. They need to defend this set piece, and there's 5 York players there to attack. Divine, Blackburn lets it run.
Good from Richards. Really, really good from Richards, wasn't it? Steps out well, steps out really quickly.
Divine, not with the delivery on the set piece that time. The ball only seems to be in play for a second though, and then it's back out, so in terms of real time, there's much more that Hartpury will have to see out. Barber. Wasteful.
Really wasteful. Perhaps the chance. I've seen games move quicker than this though. I haven't seen things turn around. Involved in one a few weeks ago where this scoreline with 20 seconds to go and it reversed to be 6-5 to the team that were losing.
Yeah, crazy things can happen in futsal, and there's very much still enough time. And just the one goal now, those 2 goals in quick succession.
York need that ball though, and they need that ball quickly.
They might have won it there, it's slammed away. There's a late challenge on the follow through, which wasn't really necessary.
Just have a look at it.
It's a silly one really from Toure as well, because I think the ball's only ever going to be cleared away. Hartpury have it after the foul. Just seem to lose a second or two then on the clock, which York wouldn't be happy about if they knew it, but still they come forward, and Blackburn still looking to try and probe as the leader of his side. Loses out though, and Bright from distance. Bright to complete his hat-trick. It's against the post again.
Just looked like it was going to roll in, didn't it? Right, now this is interesting territory. 20 seconds left. York have the ball. See here, I think Chris Bright, though I know what he's tried to do, and he's very nearly done it.
Oh, nobody there for York, and it's out of play.
It's game over. That's game over now. 10 seconds left, 12 seconds left, and Hartpury have the ball back. Have to feel, don't you, that they're just going to play back, keep the ball. This should be game over.
Yeah,
Manage
York,
this situation now.
York looking to be very aggressive and press from the kick in, but Hartpury now should see this out. Hale turns, didn't need to shoot, but they did, and very nearly killed the game. But the ball now back with
I don't
York.
know why they've come for goal. Yeah, just keep possession. See out the last 12 seconds. Put so much pressure on themselves.
7 to go, all eyes on the clock. Divine. That's the first defender, looked to go for goal himself. There's a second left, and there's the final buzzer. Hartpury managed to get themselves over the line as they survive a late scare with a couple of York goals, bringing it back to just the single goal to split the teams. Well, take a breath, Matt, and I'll ask you for your player of the match after what was an excellent 9-goal thriller.
Yeah, really good game, wasn't it? Had a little bit of everything. Just when we thought York were beating that, they came back with that fly goalkeeper. For me, I think just for moments of individual quality, Rico Zulkarnayan is my man of the match. He's the person who has really made Hartpury tick and showing his quality in each and every game that he plays at the moment. And they're getting more used to him and learning how they can use him. Really good moments from him. Good, you have to give a mention to Dale Richards for an exceptional display as well at the real back line. But looks really, really good so far for Hartpury in the way that they're just building and continuing to improve week on week.
Well, what a big 3 points that is for Hartpury. Let's take a look at the key moments.
And just go back to this, that early start has really been York's undoing, hasn't it? Within sort of 10 seconds of the kickoff, Rico Zulkarnayan finds the target. And this one from Dale Richards finds Chris Bright. And that was 2. York hadn't even got out the changing room at this stage. A timeout helped them. And a moment of quality from Jed Devine. He'll have better days than he did today. More impactful days. Still showed his quality in key moments.
Yeah, Hartpury then hitting back though with the diagonal ball through to Zulkarnayan, and that was his brace. Each and every one of these goals important in the first half with the way in which it ended. That was a fine volley.
I think this was the one that really broke them in a way, because at 3-2 they would have felt that they were well in going into half time. It was a mistake from George Smith and Sam Kerwin punished them. This is an excellent finish from Chris Bright, and it was the threat of the big pivot that really all the way through the game troubled York. Didn't know how to cope with it, and in this case they had 2 or 3 players around the ball, as we see, and it allowed Richards the room to play that pass for Chris Bright. He makes no mistake.
Yeah, that was 2 for Bright as well.
And from nothing really, York found a way. At this stage we thought the game was over. Suddenly Ramiro Monge was able to double his tally, get his team back into it.
Yeah, that kick started what very nearly was a successful comeback, and that went in with just over 90 seconds left to play. They quickly got themselves another goal as well, York. Pouncing upon the error there. This just seconds later.
This is a really good goal, really good quality. Blackburn finds a really good pass into the middle for Barber. Barber finds the second post and Toure just guides it home. That's why he's there. That's in that whole routine. They're looking to have somebody on that second post to do exactly that job. Toure guides it home. Just ran out of time in the end, didn't they? Ran out of time and room. And Hartpury had enough to take all 3 points.
Yeah, 5-4 then in the end to Hartpury. And we still have to come later for you today 2 more games. Manchester will be taking on Wessex. That's a 2 thereabouts kickoff, and Loughborough up against Bolton. Here's the league table and what that latest result has done to the things. Big win for Hartpury.
Huge win. Pulls them away from that sort of bottom 2, doesn't it? That threat of relegation. That's where, not where they want to be. They won't want to be thinking about that now, and they'll very much see themselves as an established tier 1 side and not want to get drawn into that. Keeps them in touch with the pack above them. For York, it's a desperately disappointing one because it's a scalp that they'd have felt that they could have taken.
Yeah, a late comeback for York that fell just short in the end. The final score in this one, Hartpury 5, York 4. And there you can see up next we'll have Manchester taking on Wessex. Join us for that.